Hi everybody, I am Sherry and this is Standing Stone Wellness. Welcome to my channel. On this channel, we just make super fun things, and today I have a great recipe for you. We're starting out this video in my backyard, where behind me you can see when we moved into this property, my husband planted this beautiful row of cedars. So one day when I was admiring them, imagine my surprise when I saw in between a couple of these cedars uh, a bunch of little red berry type things popping out at me. And I thought, oh my gosh, I think those are rose hips. Let's check them out. Today I am having some help from my husband, who is helping us to part these trees to see these rose hips that are up behind the tree. Now, we have harvested them. There's still a lot left. How tall would you say these trees are, honey? 10 feet? 12 feet? So these rose hips are they grow up to about, in my section, 10 feet. High, I think, would be the rosehip bush, and then the cedars continue up, so they're pretty high up there. So I am going to harvest these rose hips and use them in my soap today. This is going to be a really exciting video. Stay tuned. I'll see you in a minute. This is my rose hip harvest. So what I'm going to do is put some of these into my Ninja blender and smoosh them up a bit just to open up the insides. Then I will be using a heat infusion method on my stove with coconut oil. Let's start infusing these rose hips. is the final soap. Because this is a Rosehip soap and I've used rose clay with it, I decided to use my rose mold, and I think they turned out super cute. These guys are actually just a little bit smaller than my regular bar, which I think is really nice, and because they're round, they should be easy for you to hold and use. I've scented these with frankincense and lavender essential oils. Both of these essential oils are great for the skin, and they're going to be very nice on your face. And I've used them in very low dilution because they are so close to our nose and our scent receptors. And also, I want to make sure that I'm making a face bar that is going to be gentle on facial skin, which means keeping that dilution really low. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed the video today. Thank you so much for being here and for watching, and thank you to everybody who has subscribed so far. If you're enjoying my content, please like this video and subscribe so that I can continue to make inspirational and fun content like this one. I'm wishing you a super great weekend, and I will see you next week.